And I guess you guys probably experienced the tail end of also the backlash towards that
Oh,
momentum.
absolutely. Yeah. So when we signed, you could still sell out. There's this pretty famous story of playing this club in Germany because we still were booked by a punk rock booking agent, this guy Dolph. And we were on a bus for the first time, and that was already selling out because you're on a bus, even though we had toured, in the year 2000, I was home 21 days. And this is now February of 2001. And I'm extending that. We've now done 4 or 5 weeks already of touring, and we're on a bus in Europe, and somebody had put 2x4s with nails underneath our bus tires. So that if our driver had not seen them, we would have blown whatever, however much bus tires are. I'm sure they're very expensive. That was a direct relation to us being sellouts. Like that's our punishment for this. And we're not making any money at all. Like none of us are seeing any sort of like whatever people think you see is doesn't happen. But you get really tired of explaining that to people. And I used to tell people all the time. So like when Dear You came out, the Jawbreaker record on Geffen, I guess, right? I was like, fuck that shit. And I remember telling my friend, because I'm a huge Jawbreaker fan, like that's like in my top five bands of all time. And when that record came out, I listened to it on headphones, maybe 10 seconds of it, and I gave it back to my friend, and I'll never forget this. I said, I don't want to hear this fucking Nirvana bullshit. And I like walked off. So humility comes in and you realize, A, it's a great record. I did love Nirvana. I was just playing the role of like the disgruntled punk kid and just pure humility because I used to tell kids that would be like, you sold out and fuck blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, yeah, just wait. Like, just wait. I wouldn't even argue with them or try and debate it. That's the only thing I would say. Just wait because I was just like you. And I have to now eat that humble pie of like, now being friends with somebody from Jawbreaker and having to be like, oh, I can't believe I ever said that. Like, it's the stupidest thing you could say. But I did. And I think part of that is that, as much as our community is supposed to be open-minded, we all fall into these like kind of roles. And, um, if we think that we're not judging each other and we're not putting pressure on each other to be something that we want other people to be, then we're fooling ourselves. And I don't think that anything's ever going to evolve if we don't talk about that openly. And at least I can admit it and say I was an idiot. I thought making a good sounding record was selling out. Now I realize making a good sounding record is your obligation.